never know what you're going to see in a baseball game, but sometimes things happen in a game that defy the odds and defy logic.
There was rain all weekend. That was one of the most unbelievable weekends of the season.
We were coming back from Kansas City, and Torberg pulled me aside on the plane and says, hey, you and Jack, your guys are going to pitch a doubleheader. I'm giving you your first start. I was supposed to throw against Craig McMurtry, actually. Well, obviously, Texas found out here's this guy that's never started, a reliever, so they moved McMurtry, and they put Nolan Ryan against me, and I'm like, okay, so the way I took it is, I know it's my idol, but that's a slap in the face, so now I really wanted to get out there.
That was actually the second game of a twilight doubleheader. And the first game had rain delays, and it was long and tiring. By the time the second game, Nolan Ryan comes out for his last appearance there, he actually got a standing ovation, and all these flash bulbs go off, you know.
I ended up going, I think, like 6 1/3. It was a battle.
Nolan Ryan, in his final game at Old Comiskey Park, he's got 2 men on, and Craig Grebeck smokes a 3-run homer off of Nolan Ryan. He's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. The Little Hurt has just hit a 3-run homer off of Nolan Ryan. Ozzie Guillen steps up to the plate, and while the fans are still like screaming and Nancy Faust is still playing "Na-Na, Hey Hey, Kiss 'Em Goodbye," the next pitch from Nolan Ryan is to Ozzie Guillen. Ozzie Guillen goes deep.
It was awesome, and I remember, you know, coming out to win. And to me, to win your first start was obviously awesome, but here it is against your childhood idol. And I remember the next day, one of the things you do as a starter is you wanted to get the lactic acid out, so we'd go run in the outfield. Now I turned into a little kid. Like, I just want to say, hi, Mr. Ryan. Well, all of a sudden I run, and I turn around, and all I hear is a, hey, kid. And I turn, and all he says is, hey, kid, nice job yesterday. And I probably could have taken on Usain Bolt at that time. I was flying back and forth, and it just meant the world to me.
You know, there was something said maybe in the paper, you know, after the home runs off of Nolan that, you know, Craig could hit a fastball. And, you know, I think you kind of mentioned that in the paper, and maybe word got back to Nolan that little guy from Chicago talks about hitting your fastball pretty regular. I don't think Nolan liked that a whole lot.
Unfortunately for Craig Grebeck, the Rangers would be playing the White Sox the following week in Texas. Nolan Ryan scheduled to start one of those games, and that old bastard, what does he do? First pitch to Craig Grebeck, just nails him right in the ribs. Right in the ribs.
Total Bush League from a future Hall of Famer. Right there, he could have just hit Craig Grebeck right in the head very easily. That is Bush, Nolan Ryan.
Craig, you know, just looked like he was going to have to come out of the game, but tough kid, Kate stayed in there. He stayed in the game. The next inning, I went out there, 2 outs. You know, I was going to get somebody. So I get 2 outs, man on first. Well, it's Pete Incaviglia at the plate, biggest guy in their lineup. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to throw this, you know, 87, 86 mile an hour fastball in there, and he's going to catch it with his bare hand. Well, I didn't get the sign from the catcher, so I throw a fastball. He pops out. As I go to the dugout, I'm like, we were supposed to get that guy. Carco told me, yeah, wait till we get 2 outs, nobody on. And I was like, you know, you might want to let me know that. You know, I'm out there holding the baseball. So anyway, next inning, 2 outs, nobody on, and Steve come up.
Oh, my goodness, look at this.
Lordy.
Where is 34 out there? Now here comes Nolan Ryan out of the dugout right now. He's now walking out. He's the one that started the whole thing.
Well, I got to think that Buechele will be ejected from this game.
A good part of this whole deal is he called me after the game and told me, you know, no hard feelings, you know. Just told me, thanks for not throwing in my head. I remember we had a Cub convention in '93 when we played together, and I walked up behind Steve and kind of poked him on his elbow. And he turned around, looked at me, and he said, he goes, you know, that 80 poo got me pretty good that day.